Hello my friends, Boomy here once again with another video for you, my Swtor brothers and sisters. How's everyone doing today? Star Wars: The Old Republic. A game with many voices, many players, lots of people in the community. People with a passion and love for Star Wars. People who love rich lore, action, friendship, getting to know new people, meeting new people, enjoying new adventures and experiences through a galaxy that's far, far away and that has swept them off their feet from when they were either younglings or to now. This game, above all other games, offers everyone something different. There are many of us out there in the community, old players, new players, those who played before, want to come back but refuse to because of the current conditions of the game these days. But what we are many voices, many different opinions, different ways to see things. But we all have our own style. Just as people in the MMO, as Star Wars: The Old Republic is, we have people who love endgame. We have people who love to raid. People who love to PvP. And people who love to click on chairs and RP. People are here for the story. People are here for the class and for the characters and for the different cast of main role characters that we run into, that we end up relating with. Games are a place for us to escape reality. But when we enter into a game by developers and we start to feel silenced, we start to feel alone, we start to feel as if what we have to say and what we do in and out of game in relation to this game count for nothing, falls on deaf ears. We continue to rise up and raise our concerns and try to offer constructive criticism and are met with bans, censorship, and outright ignored, to the detriment of the game and to its community and to its player base. There are many of us in the content creator world who have come together in one voice, in a different platform, to come and commiserate with each other, to come up with ideas and just companionship in these dark days that Star Wars: The Old Republic is in. We have a voice. We have the voice of our communities within the larger community of Star Wars: The Old Republic. And some of the voices you will hear today, some are old, some are new to you, and some are tried and true. So today, I wanted to talk about community and the health of Star Wars: The Old Republic, but not just through my words, but through friends of mine's words as well. Some I've known for a very long time, and some who I just met and began to know now, and some in between. Some I have actually met in person and allowed to touch my beard. Others, who knows, maybe someday. But what I love most about content creation is talking to all of you amazing people and talking to other content creators as we cut out our own space to where we can talk and be free to talk without Broadsword meddling in to censor what we have to say and keeping us in fear of what we have to say and cannot say. Brave voices like all of ours and all of yours in the community that are willing to step up and say enough is enough, Broadsword. Please listen to your community. Here is my dear friend, my new friend Birdface, as he discusses how he feels everything is going on with the community and with the game.
As a community, what we can really do is just keep going. I talked about it in my other video when we were going on about all the problems with the game. Just keep going. Keep talking about the problems. Don't be afraid to post it on the forums. I mean, it's almost like a mass thing. They can't ban all of us, especially if what you're saying is coming from a place where you genuinely care about the game. Be firm yet respectful. Get in the forums, get on the subreddit. Heck, make videos like I'm doing right now, or like we're doing right now. And if you don't like something, just call it out. Oh, I'm actually having a hard time to come up with things to say that the devs have done positive. the live streams that they've been doing for a while now. I think it's been for about this year. The live streams are great because it allows us to get in front of them. They're allowed to see us. We can see them, and I think that really does bring the community together, even though not everyone shows up at the live stream, but a decent contingency of people do. The biggest con is just shutting down all the criticism on the forums. I don't know if it's specifically like the community managers or it's all of the devs, but that's definitely the thing that hurts the most because it gives a sense of hopelessness. It's demoralizing. The community doesn't feel like their voice is being heard. So what's going to happen when you don't feel like your voice is being heard? You're gonna leave. Okay, so the best thing I could think of they can do is probably going back to making sure every part of the community has something to do. I don't feel like the community really feels like every single aspect is being respected. Story players have been the focus for like a long time, but even the story players for like getting rejected. The PvP players have been abandoned for a really, really long time. So what happens is the community feels like someone else is getting a bigger share of the pie than them. And I don't think that fosters a really good relationship in the community. In regards to fixing the relationship with the devs, the only thing I can think of is another game that I play, and that is Destiny 2. If you don't know, if no one's played Destiny 2, back when Destiny 2 launched, the game was in a bad position from the first year of expansion. Curse of Osiris went over really bad, and Warmind went by even worse, and people were leaving the game. And Bungie wanted to fix the issue. So what they did is they invited the biggest content creators to their studio, flew them out there, and sat them down in a room and talked to them about what was wrong with the game and asked them how they can fix it. And they also told them to not hold back. I'm not saying that Broadsword needs to start flying content creators down to Austin for us to talk to them, but at the very least, they could reach out and ask us honestly what we would like to see fixed about the game. And I know they're a small team, but there's something that they can do to try to garner that respect for the community that is oh so missing from them right now. In respects to trying to get them to listen to us, the only thing I can think of is to, what I said earlier. Keep banging on, man. Just keep going and talking about exactly what you don't like and exactly what you do like. Praise them for things they do right. That I think one of the other things people forget is that you need the positive feedback as well, not just the negative feedback. So that's the best thing I could do to try to, I could think of to try to get them to listen. As a community, I definitely think that we need to realize that our favorite aspects of the game all have merit and value, but we can't act like just because our favorite aspect of the game is getting ignored, or we can't act as if our favorite aspect of the game is more valuable than another part. The game has to be like a big pie shared between the four really main groups of the MMO space. PvP players want maps, balance, like ranked and rewards. That's the gist of what a lot of PvP players want. PvE players want more in-game content like ops and challenging encounters inside those ops, unique ops gear, and we just want the cool stuff back in the loot pool. We want to feel like us striving for that master mode completion is worth something, and we get something that no one else can get anywhere else in the game. Story players, they want longer stories, they want better stories, and they don't want their stuff, trash, and that's valuable. Our peers just want clickable chairs. In all honesty, that's what we want. Clickable chairs. And a slew of other things, but clickable chairs would be nice.
I think Birdface is right. As players and creators, we must continue to hold our ground and keep pushing forward. We can't stop, and that's what some developers want us to do. They want us to go away. I've been blocked by some because I have a different opinion. A lot of us content creators who happen to be a little bit critical of the game have been blocked by developers who don't want to hear a different opinion. And I think that's really sad. And another thing that was touched on, and as I said in the opening package of this video, is Broadsword needs to be more transparent and more open. And the community managers of this game have got to stop censoring and deleting comments of people who are just asking simple questions, asking why R4 Anomaly is not getting NIM, what's going on with ranked PvP, where is our content for this game, why aren't they being as transparent? I can tell you through experience in the content creator program that transparency has never been Star Wars The Old Republic's strong suit. It never has been. They've never really been that transparent with us. And if they can't be transparent with us, you can just imagine how not transparent they are with the rest of the community. But I think a big thing that Bird talked about is he's right about what Bungie did. We're not asking to be flown out to Austin, but we are asking to just be listened to. And I think the devs do need to sit down, and if they love this game as much as they say they do, they need to sit down with us and ask the questions and be willing to listen to constructive criticism, no matter how hurtful, quotes in the air, or triggering they might be. Because we will be respectful. We will always be respectful. We're not going to ever do anything to like what they do to us by removing comments and censoring us and ignoring us. No, we speak for a lot of people in the community, who's people who do not have voices, who feel like they can't be heard. We are their voices in this. So I think what Bungie did was awesome. I think bringing content creators and explaining what's going on, and then also being willing to listen to the good and bad, I think that's a brilliant maneuver by any company. And I think Star Wars The Old Republic, Broadsword, and Electronic Arts would do well for the future of this game to do something very similar. I think another person, another dear friend of mine, Rosala, who really exemplifies some of the frustrations that we have with this game and where it's has come from and where it is now with the current developer staff and with the current community managers. I think what she has to say is important, and I think it again exemplifies the deep buried frustration that a lot of us have.
Where do I see the health of the game itself? The health of the game is really, really bad. And in terms of the community and the player base is, they're in the shadows. They're skulking. They're like freaking scoundrels. They're like the smuggler class. Just, they sneak their heads in. They do what they do in the morning. They do their little dailies, and they're freaking gone. Why is this? Well, because the game doesn't really have any endgame content. The game has been stagnated ever since Knights of the Fallen Empire. They have no freaking idea what they're doing with the storyline. The storyline's been screwed for the past 9 years, and it's just a complete and utter catastrophe. It's also been a complete and utter catastrophe from a dev to player base standpoint, because where the player base is saying, well, why can't you just give us this? And then they turn around and they're like, well, we'll give you a little taste of that, but we really want to focus on this. And they start spending 75% of their freaking budget on a 2-minute video clip, and the rest of the storyline is absolute, complete, total garbage. Now, that's not what the players want. They don't want a movie. They want a freaking game. And if you could minimize the video budget, took that down to 25%, and then put the storyline budget up to 75%, you'll have a much better freaking game. I'll tell you that much. But they're not going to do that. And every time a player or even the community and the player base tries to tell the devs, look, we need content, we need things to do, we want to play your freaking game, but you're not giving us any freaking reason to do it. And they can go off on the whole, well, our budget's really, really cut. And it's like, well, I have ideas on that, but that's for another video. So in terms of the health of the game, in terms of community and player base, it's a rocky cliff. I'm telling you that much.
Now, I don't always agree with everyone. We don't have to agree with each other all the time. All of us content creators and everyone in the world, we all take we all do different things and choose different paths to get to our destination. I can be very outspoken. Rosala can be outspoken. Bird can. Star Wars Central can. Averia can. We all can be. Even so, Teresa at times can be. But we all have a common ground. Is we love this game, we have a passion for its story and for its characters, and we have a hope, a yearning for the future of this game. Now, speaking of us old people and us veterans of Star Wars The Old Republic and of content creation, here's a voice from a blast of the past, from the old school, now retired, passionately casual podcast, who all of those great people, except for Sakari, I got to meet. And JT. So only two, Jesse and Mox, I got to meet in person. They're lovely and amazing people. And I think Moxy has a great way to sum up everything right now and how he feels everything is going on with the community, the devs, and the health of the game. And I want you to see here, and I think you have started to see here, that there's a pattern of what we are all seeing. All of us from different places in life, in our game, different how long we've been playing the game, but yet we all come down to simple truths. And I think Moxy says it well.
As you know, the squeaky motivator gets the lubrication. So continue what you're doing, make honest videos assessing their path, compliment them when they're doing something right, and criticize them when they're doing something wrong. The more feedback they get, the more they can adjust. Of course, this is all moot if their decisions are driven solely by profit margins. The relationship between the community and the devs is pretty dysfunctional, or at least it was while I was a content creator. They do what they want with little regard for the player base. For all its faults, it's the best Star Wars MMO, and people will settle for trash if it's their only option. Heck, even Ray did that. The divide will always be there because the wedge between the devs and the players is the people that control the purse strings. Eric Muska would give the world to the players if he could, but he's held back by the executives. You could try to build relationships with the devs, but that only goes so far. As I previously mentioned, the real issues are with the folks that control the budgets. I've held this position for many years in regards to Swtor. They need to go back to releasing full planets. Daily areas are not planets. Hoth, Tatooine, Alderaan, they were all worth exploring. These daily areas, they're garbage. They also need to add new classes. Simply revising combat stances and allowing us to play as a dark Jedi and a light Sith, that was always kind of there, and it's not something that motivates me to get back into Swtor. They need true opposed storylines in the expansions. Different storylines, not just different objectives in the same story path. Think Rise of the Hutt Cartel story. Imperial and Republic were totally different. I would never come back for anything less than that.
Star Wars The Old Republic is not in a healthy place right now. And anyone saying that it is lying to themselves or not being genuine to you guys. That is what I at least strive on this channel, is to always be honest with you all. And to never bullshit you into how I feel things are going. And as you have seen in the Varia's documentary and Sam's documentary, and now my little part on the shelf. Through all of us different content creators, of all of the different mediums and ways we content create, it all comes down to a passion for this game and for Broadsword, EA, and Star Wars The Old Republic devs to come to the table and actually listen to its community. There needs to be transparency from the team. Even if they can't tell us exactly, for example, in 7.6, story content's been delayed. They probably are under NDA and different contracts, and they can't probably publicly say, yes, we are delayed because of, for example, voice actor strike. They probably can't say that, but it wouldn't do harm for them to update us regularly as they can on, hey guys, we're getting closer to the end date of this. I think this has been one of Star Wars The Old Republic's biggest thorns in its side, is its lack of transparency and its lack of communication with its player base and its community. I have been to a Star Wars celebration. I have been to a cantina, and let me tell you, there are lots of us out there who love this game, who love its rich history, who love its lore, who love the characters. Characters, like I said before, we can relate to, and we can find some kindred spirit with. We just wish the devs would treat us almost the same way. In a way, we would love for the devs to realize we're not just people who play the game. We are the ones who literally pay their bills and pay their paychecks. We are the ones outside of the masters at EA who allow this game to continue to run. We are the client, and they are the ones who are providing a service. And the service has really fallen from what it was. I know a lot of people do not like Knights of the Eternal Throne and Knights of the Fallen Empire. I, for one, did. I enjoyed the cadence of chapters every month, because at least you knew something was coming. That's what I would almost like to see now. Yes, I know the team is smaller, but I would love to see something similar to that in relation to what we are getting, which is practically new story every 3 to 6 months. And we are getting in such a drip-fed fashion that we don't remember what happened in the last update patch. And a lot of us will not want to go and replay it on another tune because, well, we don't want to. Star Wars The Old Republic needs to change. The devs need to change. I think what Broadsword and EA and Star Wars The Old Republic need to do is, one, allow free-to-play players full access to the public test server. It'd be better that way. With subscribers, we are a small bunch. There's not a lot of us in relation to the free-to-play and preferred market. The free-to-play players are the foundation of this game, and their voices need to be heard. And part of that is being heard on the PTS. And that's one of the biggest things I think that needs to change. Also, another top thing in my world, and a lot of other people's world, is that Star Wars The Old Republic, Jackie, Eric, Keith, all those in leadership need to stop censoring the player base. Yes, there are toxic people. They exist. They do. But from what I have seen from the censorship, from whether it be in-game, in Gen Chat, to where people can actually hold a long conversation talking about how other games are doing it better and what could go better in this game, and that being deleted and removed and people being timed out, to people's comments and being banned on Twitch, to forum posts being removed because someone doesn't like what they have to say. And more often than not, the criticism being offered isn't toxic. It's legit, genuine criticism. And a lot of times there are points and bullet points on how to fix things. And yet these things are removed. The censorship needs to stop. What EA should do is have in place practical policies that deal with the community and with communication and transparency. And if that can't be done, then a new community manager needs to be found and Jackie needs to be replaced because obviously she is not doing what an actual community manager is supposed to do. One things I get crap for this sometimes, but one things that I loved about Eric Musco when he was community manager is even though we may not have agreed with each other and what they were doing, he still took the time to listen and to explain. Even when we were being very critical, he would listen and accept that criticism and what we had to say. But when Jackie came aboard, that all stopped. And we have seen the effects and the fruit that was born from that take place now. As players and content creators, I'll just chorus what Birdface and Rosalia and Moxy have said, what Sam has said, what Averia has said, what everyone has pretty much said. We must continue to move forward. We cannot relent. We need to continue to push forward and continue to offer constructive criticism and be respectful, and don't give them an actual reason to drop the ban hammer on you. But more voices need to be heard. More people need to stand up and not to be afraid to stand up and have their voices heard. Because in the end, there are two things that will be heard by a company: your voices and your wallets. If they refuse to listen to your voice, then the next step is for them to listen to your wallet. And when the budgets go dry, and when the money stops coming in, and when they stop blaming players, which is what they do, especially this current age of game developers, maybe they'll realize we should have listened to our community. Friends, as we wrap this up, there's a big reason why I end all my videos with the tag of remember to be kind, and it's about community. And I mean that. And I leave that at the end package for a reason. Community is what we have. This would not be a game without our community. And as we continue to create and foster a new community on Discord, in the Content Creators Cantina on Discord and on Twitter and on Blue Sky for those people who are there, that is where we are. We exist. There's a lot of us. So come and join us. Join our voices. Join our ranks. Place your banners with ours. And help save this game. Help save this amazing, rich story that is almost a bedrock and foundation to what Star Wars is. My friends, don't forget to hit that like button, share button, bell notification button. The more you guys go on to our platforms as content creators and watch our stuff and communicate with us, leave comments, the more eyes that get to see us. That's how the algorithm works. The more likes we get, the more comments we get, the longer watch times we get. That is part of how the algorithm works. More eyes and ears will hear what we have to say. And to Broadsword and EA and the devs who I know watch my videos and watch others' videos as well, we want to work with you guys. We have hope and love for this game just as some of you do. So let's do that. Let's work together. My friends, if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Become part of the family here at Boomy Nation, the Freak Show YouTube, the black sheep of gaming. And as always, my friends, remember to be kind. It's about community. And most importantly, don't forget to spay and neuter your Wookiees. We'll see you later, my friends, and enjoy the music. Good day. Hit that button, ask for more.